Is the software industry we've built over the last 30 years about to evaporate into a cloud of automated tokens? So every day I see another headline claiming that AI is the SaaS killer and that soon nobody will pay for a subscription because they can just prompt a custom app into existence. But if that's true, why are the world's most advanced AI companies, the ones building the very tools supposedly killing software, still paying millions for legacy enterprise systems? If code is becoming free, why is the value of a solid software company actually going through the roof? So we're standing on massive crossroads in tech history. And yes, the stock market's been a bit bumpy over the last couple of weeks, but most people are kind of looking the wrong way. And as always, Wall Street's kind of being reactionary, right? But today I'm going to reveal why the AI revolution is not the end of SaaS. It's the beginning of some of the most profitable decades yet. Let's dive into this today. Welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer, and here at Startup Hack, we love to build custom software solutions for companies. With a decade of executive leadership as a fractional CTO and 25 years in software development, I've mastered transforming tech teams and products. So the narrative that AI is going to kill SaaS is a total myth, but it's a dangerous one if you're a founder or a dev. We keep hearing that capability is now commodity, but in my 25 years in the trenches, I've seen that software was never just about the code. It's about something much deeper that AI can't solve with a better prompt. Now, before we dig into these reasons why SaaS is actually going to get stronger, like my favorite thing is if we have a great discussion, so leave a comment down below. It's actually one of the biggest compliments you can give me. And so make sure you like and subscribe and of course share with your friends. Now, let's dive into some of these articles here today because I want to dive in and talk about some of these reasons why I feel that SaaS is actually going to end up stronger. Now, it's going to weed out some of those who don't want to adapt and some of those who want to stick their hand in the sand about AI. Because here at Startup Hack, we're AI realists. We don't buy into the hype. AGI is not coming. It's not going to replace all the developers. But let's talk about what it is going to do because it is absolutely impacting the market. Now, why software stocks are getting crushed is AI casts shadows of uncertainty over the stock sector. So this is just Yahoo Finance, right? But software stocks have tumbled in recent months as investors grow increasingly worried that AI could upend traditional software businesses. Companies in the sector with S&P 500 are down roughly 18% over the last 6 months. Now, me and myself, I just call this actually more of a correction. We've definitely seen some hype cycles here, but if you're looking at SAP, Salesforce, ServiceNow, I'm actually not a fan of any of these companies, to be honest. These are too broad, far too wide across an expanse. I just don't think these are actually great software products personally. But software sentiment has rarely been lower, with AI casting a shadow of uncertainty over the sectors. Now, what I am seeing is I'm seeing a lot of companies who are trying to figure out what it means to build software into their systems. But it says that shadow of uncertainty has two prongs. For one, investors worry about software as a service firms. Customers could develop in-house software solutions using AI tools from large language model providers. Now, the thing about this is they're going to find out that they actually have to still build SaaS and they still have to build hire developers to do this. So the concept that developers are going to become obsolete with this is actually, all the more. The second is that there's concern that AI is lowering the barriers for new enterprise startups. Now, this is definitely true. This one I agree with. The first one, I did kind of disagree with, but that's Wall Street, who doesn't really understand software. This one is going to be interesting, and that's part of the reason I'm not a big fan of Salesforce, SAP, and what other one? ServiceNow, the one that they listed out there, because I'm not a huge fan of them because I love the democratization of software. I love that AI is bringing the barrier down. I love that anybody can start to build software, because what we're going to see is we're going to see this niche down. We're going to see vertical domains as AI helps developers to develop SaaS platforms. See what I did there? AI is going to help them develop SaaS platforms to be specialized at certain niches. Yesterday I was on the phone call. We're trying to sell a product. So I was talking with a guy about selling leads. Surprise, they had a SaaS platform on how to go get the leads, right? This is an example of a very niche set of software, very vertically specific domain software that was built using, and I'm sure they have some AI tools built into them. I don't remember off the top of my head. Now, let's keep going to some of these other articles here. Death of software. Author says, nah, AI is changing what we build and who builds it, but not how much needs to be built. Now, this is A16Z, right? So this is, Andreessen Horowitz, and it is an opinion piece, but he says, too much what's going on is a race to get to a theoretical end state of a whole new world of business technology. Many pushing this were around for the tail end of the transition from the internet-based economy and struggling with what appears to be compressed timelines. Now, what they're saying here is that, you have the PC and the graphical interface. They're kind of going to retail. They're kind of going through some history here, right? But let's kind of jump down to this. So in each of these examples, you can be someone who was there and claimed told you so, or you can be someone who placed all their bets on a whole new world. In reality, almost all the people that called for full disruption of a whole new world were wildly optimistic on the time frame. Surprise! They get wildly optimistic on things, like Sam Altman and Dario telling us, Dario Amati tell us, oh, we're going to be no developers, or Zuckerberg saying developers are going to be gone by 2025, right? Like, surprise, they're wildly optimistic on their time frames. The people that are certain what is going on is forever away, or even worse, never going to happen, well, they're important too, because the transition takes so long and it's unevenly distributed. Having people focus on legacy is key. Now, that's kind of the point here, right? So, and then he goes on to talk about mainframes and IBM, and that's a great example here, right? Mainframes and IBM are still around. IBM's still a big, thriving business. There are still people writing COBOL, right? But we have AI, so it's going to write it all for us, right? Actually, I've heard AI does terrible at writing COBOL, actually, because there's just not enough code for it to train on. So this is an example that legacy is going to be around. Now, think about your organization for a minute. What legacy system do you have that AI could suddenly come and wipe out? There's probably some that it actually won't. That's actually the thing, is AI actually does not do well at legacy stuff. It actually does horrible legacy code. It is great if you can sit down and say, hey, build me an app that does da-da-da-da-da. But if you've got a code base of millions and millions and millions of lines of code, the chance that AI is going to come in and break something is extremely high. So that's the part that people aren't talking about, right? But that's what this author is talking about, is this focus on legacy. So he says, here's what's going to happen. There will be more software than ever before. Okay. Now, the thing about this is there's going to be a lot of software that gets written by people that maybe didn't know. They try to get it production. They hire a developer to get it the last mile. And as everybody who's ever built software knows, the last mile is one of the hardest miles. AI-enabled or AI-centric software is simply moving up the stack of what a product is. So here's the whole thing, is that you're not just going to build a SaaS platform anymore. If you build a SaaS platform, like we are here, you can see these servers back behind us. These are AI workstation servers that do offline processing of data that before wasn't even theoretically possible. For instance, I've got one database system that has a set of data and another database system that has a set of data, and there's no way to link the two. So before, you would have been like, it's literally impossible because you have no linking ID between them. Now with AI, I can run it through and have the AI do 20 checks against something and then do variances on it and do machine learning and do all this on servers that are like this, right? So we can build out software. This is that democratization that I'm talking about. So AI is going to be powerful, but we're going to see it go down into the software, not up. You're not going to see Google solve every problem. You're not going to see OpenAI solving every problem. You're going to see software developers using this new technology to build software like ever before. And like he said here, there will be more software than ever before. Now, new tools will be created with AI that do new things. That's true. We just rolled out Claude Code to all of our developers, and it came with a bunch of stern warnings. If you haven't heard my video about that yesterday, go watch it. Domain experience will be wildly more important than it is today because every domain will become vastly more sophisticated than it is now. This is that domain specific I'm talking about. We're going to get stuff that gets trained on domain specific. You're going to get a specific LLM for law, specific LLM for health, specific LLMs for finance, and then even niche down into different areas of even those categories, right? Radiology versus medicine, et cetera, right? Finally, it's absolutely true that some companies will not make it. My prediction is OpenAI is one of these. I think they're going to get sold off for pieces. That's my prediction. But strap in. This is the most exciting time for business technology ever. Loved this article. Okay. Anthropic employs world-class engineers who could build an HR system in weeks. They use Workday anyways. Workday is a HR system. The reason tells you exactly where enterprise SaaS is headed. Building HR software requires knowing labor laws across 50 states, payroll tax compliance changes quarterly, healthcare benefit. No engineering team wants to own that surface area. The maintenance burden compounds forever while delivering zero competitive advantage. This is why enterprise SaaS moats actually strengthen with AI. The value was never we built software you couldn't. The value was always we absorb compliance risks and regulatory complexities you don't want. AI makes custom software cheaper to build. It doesn't make compliance cheaper to own. Workday's real product is liability absorption, and that product just got more valuable as build versus buy calculation. He's spot on. Okay, next. Let's jump in here. SaaS wildly misunderstood. TLDR, follow the economics, right? Now, what is happening? Those top line SaaS people that we're talking about, the Salesforce, the SAPs, those sales, ServiceNow, all those, yeah, they're going to get hammered. They're going to absolutely hammered. Off the shelf software that's not solving a specific domain niche is going to continue to get hammered. That's my prediction. AI is killing B2B SaaS. Yeah, right. SaaS is the most profitable model on earth. And if you go all the way down to this, guys, right, because I've already spent a lot of time doing a lot of the same thing. Maybe, or it's just another cycle, and traditional SaaS will adapt like it always has, right? He was grabbing headlines here, right? We're all guilty of it. I do it too. Come on. But I know this, the companies I'm talking to aren't waiting around to find out. They're already rebuilding their relationship with customers from use our product to build on our platform. The question isn't whether AI will eat your SaaS, it's whether you'll be the one holding the fork, right? So here's the thing is, again, we're seeing Amazon doing massive layoffs right now, right? Is it because AI is replacing people? No, it's because Amazon wants to spend on AI, right? That's not going to change anywhere different, right? We're seeing people investing in AI, right? Will AI kill fintech SaaS? The stock market thinks AI kills SaaS. Here's what I think they're missing. Plus, Corp just organized 6 months receipts into categorized spreadsheets and months breakdown, points it to a folder. That's it. Okay, great. We get the power of AI. This video isn't about the power of AI. By the way, if you haven't figured it out, AI is powerful. Plaid has data agreements with large banks and a CRA that lets users use cash flow data for underwriting, right? The power in the data aggregation isn't just raw data access, it's using it to price lending. Cash flow data, what a user spends, is accurate. Want to build a compliance stack? Great. You'll need a lot of proprietary and non-public data. See, there's a moat. Plaid has that moat. This is that domain specific that I'm talking about. Sardine gives you a fraud and compliance tool set built for people who value performance. Sure, you could vibe code similar features, but you will lack the expertise to build them all that certain way that performs, right? So, and this is just, goes on to the same things, right? It's telling us the same thing, that will AI impact SaaS? 100% it already is. We launched a tool called Corp Trainer AI. Corp Trainer AI is a tool that allows somebody to be able to, because we have a coding boot camp, right? So I wanted a way to build a platform that I didn't have to use as many tutors, right? So we have Corp Trainer AI, and it's like a private brain for your company. You upload all of your documents into the system. You upload your video, you upload all the different pieces of training material that you have, and it keeps it private. It's all contained in one server, right? This server then will give you instant streaming, unified media integration, but more importantly, it allows you to chat with that conversation or that material. So let's say you have 200 salespeople, right? And you have 200 salespeople. You need to try to get all the disseminated information. You create a course. They go through it. You can check it off. But then they leave the room and they forgot everything, right? Or no, maybe you gave them that great PDF that you built, right? Nobody's going to keep that PDF piece of paper, or they can't remember where that link was to it or whatever. They have this AI chat system then that's part of the system that allows them to chat either on a specific course. So let's say there's like one product that you'd train them on, or they can chat across all of your company's information. And in the bottom of every single link, bottom of every single chat is a link to where the AI got that data. That's what we're building out here. These workstation computers, and it's a server that keeps all of your data. We host it, obviously not in my office here. We host it in our secure data center, and you then have a private brain for your company. This is an example of where software is going to niche down. We're going to see these software as a service opportunities explode over the coming months because we've democratized how we can build software, right? This is making it so that even companies the size of Startup Hack, which we're a fairly small, consulting firm here, right? But we're an awesome consulting firm, but that our size actually helps us. So we're moving out of the hype phase where companies spent money on AI just because they felt like they had to the ROI reckoning And this is where the board of directors starts asking exactly how much money these AI tools are actually saving and what they're doing. And that's where we're going to get to specific software. Software that delivers a clear, measurable return on investment will survive, while vaporware will disappear. So AI should be used to solve real painful problems, just like I talked about, right? Like disconnected systems to increase efficiencies. The market is getting smarter and can now tell the difference between a superficial AI gimmick and a real utility. The SaaS companies that focus on delivering tangible value will be the ones standing when the bubbles bursts, because that's actually going to be an advantage for those of us who knows how to build to use it. Now, curious to hear what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Love to have a great conversation. So make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you share with your friends. Here at Starter Pack, we love to build custom software solutions for companies. And here's some great information about Corp Trainer AI. Think about the last time you had to learn something new at work. You probably had to read a giant, boring pile of papers or watch a video from 10 years ago. And if you had a question, well, you had to wait hours for an email back from an expert or figure things out yourself. Some people try to use public AI tools to help, but that's dangerous. It's like posting your company's diary on the internet for everybody to see. That's why we built Corp Trainer AI. Corp Trainer AI is like a private brain for your company. You feed it your manuals, your videos, and your rules. Then it becomes a super teacher. If an employee is confused, they don't have to search through 100-page PDF. They just type a question like they're texting a friend, and the AI tells them the answers instantly. It even shows them exactly where it found the info so they can know if it's true. It makes training feel less like a chore and more like a conversation, and it's a lot of fun. So here's how it works. You build your course one at a time. You can use video, upload the content, and create quizzes to test the students' understandings, all with a simple to use, easy, and intuitive interface. Our specialized agent trains on your company's data, but don't worry, we aren't sharing or using your data anywhere else. Just upload it, and within minutes, the specialized AI is completely trained on your company's data. Your video in the course streamed back in high quality, just like YouTube. But the best part is the learning doesn't stop when the course ends. Your employees keeps that AI tutor with them when they go back to work, so they can continue to ask questions while they're actively doing their work. They can chat on a specific course or topic, or they can chat across all of your company's uploaded material. It's like an oracle trained on your company's data, and it's all secure. It never touches the public cloud or leaves our servers. For corporate trainers, it provides detailed reports on where each student is at in the learning. This allows easy management and tracking of learning. Easy to manage roles and permissions makes it simple for anyone to use. But our amazing support is available all business hours, making sure everything runs perfectly. It's secure, it's fast, and it stays outside of public clouds. Corp Trainer AI is like a private brain for your company that anyone can access anytime. This will make the training and learning process simpler for both the trainer and the learner. Get your company learning today with Corp Trainer AI, the smartest member of your